So how on earth does a local rugby tournament in Fiji end up generating a mind-boggling $3.9 million in media value? I mean, it sounds almost made up, right? But the answer, it turns out, reveals this really powerful secret about how our attention actually works online. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover that secret, piece by piece.
Okay, so it all really boils down to one single incredible number, a figure so big it just doesn't seem to fit with a regional sporting event. And this is the central mystery we're going to solve together.
And that number is 3.9 million Fijian dollars. Now that's the estimated true media value that this one tournament generated in 2026 alone. We're not talking about ticket sales or anything like that. This is purely the value of the attention it captured online.
So you have to ask, how is that even possible? What is the secret sauce that can turn a local rugby event into a multi-million-dollar media machine? All right, let's start breaking it down.
To find the answer, the first thing we have to do is follow the eyeballs. The entire foundation of that huge value is built on an absolutely explosive growth in its audience and how much they engaged over just a couple of years.
And the scale of this jump is, well, it's just staggering. I mean, take a look at this. In 2024, the tournament's social media reached about 1 million people. Fair enough. But just 2 years later, that number explodes to over 7.6 million. That's a 7-fold increase. It's just incredible.
And get this, it wasn't just people passively scrolling by. They were actively watching. Video views nearly doubled, jumping from about 8 million to over 14 million. So this tells us something really important. The audience wasn't just being found, they were completely hooked.
So here's the key thing to understand. This massive, compounding growth in attention, that's the engine. It's the raw fuel, right? But the real question is, how do you take all that fuel and turn it into an actual dollar figure?
Well, that brings us right here. We're going to translate all these clicks and views and shares into a concrete monetary value. This is where we start to see how these numbers really come together. The main concept we need to know is called Earned Media Value, or EMV. So think of it like this. Imagine you had to pay for an ad every single time someone shared one of your posts. EMV is basically the total cost of all those ads you didn't have to pay for because people were sharing your content for free. It's the dollar value of pure organic buzz.
And yeah, the tournament's EMV shows some really impressive growth. It went from around $200,000 in 2024 all the way up to over $765,000 in 2026. That is a huge success. But wait a second, that's still a long way from 3.9 million, isn't it?
And that right there leads us to the next layer of this mystery. I mean, if the value we can directly calculate from what the platforms are telling us is under $1 million, where on earth is the rest of that $3.9 million coming from?
Well, the answer lies in looking at this not as a single number, but as an iceberg. What the platforms can actually measure and show us is just the tip. The real mass, the thing that truly counts, is hidden deep beneath the surface.
So here's how it breaks down. On one side, you've got the measured value. That's the tip of the iceberg that platforms like Facebook and Instagram can efficiently track. But beneath the surface, you have the estimated true value. And this tries to account for everything that happens in the dark. Content shared in private WhatsApp groups, reposted by fan pages, and watched on YouTube months after the tournament ends.
And here it is, the big reveal. In 2026, the measured value was an impressive $1.35 million, but the estimated true value, the whole iceberg, was $3.9 million. That's nearly 3 times bigger. This is it. This is the whole thing. The untracked organic sharing is where all that immense value was hiding the entire time.
And this wasn't just a fluke, not a one-off thing. Look at the pattern here. Back in 2024, the true value was already more than double the measured value. By 2026, it's nearly triple. The gap isn't just massive, it's actually getting wider. The audience's role as a distributor is literally becoming more powerful every single year.
So, what does this all mean? Well, it signals a huge shift in how we should probably think about value. It's not just about what you broadcast, it's about the ripple effect of great content, amplified organically by the audience themselves.
As the report itself puts it, this represents a fundamental shift toward organic amplification and audience-driven distribution. So in simple terms, the fans basically became the marketing department. And because of that, it dramatically boosted the tournament's value for sponsors and for Fiji's tourism as a whole.
So let's just recap this whole story of value. Step 1, you get massive audience growth.
That leads to step 2, creating a high, measurable media value that you can see on paper. Now, step 3 is the secret weapon. Organic sharing that platforms can't track creates an even bigger true value. And finally, step 4, that massive total value makes the event way more attractive to sponsors and partners.
And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. The most powerful asset this tournament had wasn't some huge ad budget. It was an engaged audience that just loved the content so much that they became its biggest champions, creating this exponential value that no algorithm could ever fully measure.
And that kind of leaves us with a final question for you. In your own work or your own projects, what are you measuring? And maybe more importantly, what's the true value, that powerful organic word-of-mouth energy that's happening just below the surface that you might be missing?